So for this one, when I multiplied x squared times x, I put 2x to the third, but it's just x to the third. So this 2 shouldn't have been there, so it should have just been this. And then for number 6, you need to set everything to 0. And then you need to like flip it. So it's like, it'll make these ones negative. It'll be like negative x to the third plus 3x squared. And then minus 5x plus 15 equals 0. And then you have to factor it, and it's negative x squared times x minus 3 minus 5 times x minus 3 equals 0. And then you're gonna have negative x minus 3 times x squared plus 5 equals 0. And you're gonna have to multiply it out, like, to get the zeros, which would be x minus 3 equals 0, which means x equals 3. So that's your answer. And then for number 7, you have to put it to 0, so it's x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. But it can't factor, so you have to use the quadratic formula. So a squared, plus b, oops. You're gonna do x equals, and then this is negative b, so negative 5. Oh my gosh. Negative 5. And then you're gonna do square root of b squared, which is 5 squared minus 4x 5 squared minus, you do 5 squared, then you do minus 4 times a times c, negative 3, and then that's all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. And then you have to solve this out, so it would be x equals negative 1 times 25, negative 4 times negative 3 plus 12 over 2, which comes to x equals negative 5 plus or minus 37 over 2. And then it can be x equals negative 5 plus square root 37 over 2, or x equals negative 5 minus square root 37 over 2. And then for number 8, you have to set everything to 0, so x to the 4th plus 10, x squared minus 11 equals 0, and then you're gonna have to switch it to the other side, so it'd be 0 equals, and then you're gonna switch it to the other side, so it's x to the 4th plus 10, x squared minus 11, negative x to the 4th minus 10x squared plus 11, equals 0. Then you're gonna have negative x squared minus 10 x plus 11 equals 0. And then you're gonna get x squared equals negative 11. Oh my gosh, my recording is so bad. Okay, and then you're gonna get x squared also equals 1. So x equals negative 1 and x equals 1. And number 13, I got 16, but it was actually 14 because negative 22 minus negative 8 is negative 22 plus 8, which is negative 14, which this should have been negative 14. And then for number 12, I'm pretty sure that I just didn't put the x up here unless I added wrong, but I think I just didn't put the x up with it, and like that was my problem. So it was supposed to be negative 2x. And yeah, for this one, I already did it on this paper, but it's, you take the one right here and you put it in like the small box, and then you take this equation and it would be like 1 to the third, so it'd be 1 right here and like 1 to the second, like, and then a 1 right here, and then you put like a 5 and then 2 right here, and then like you just do like this, the synthetic division, where you're like, or something like that, I think. And then the remainder is like negative 5, which is also equal to this one, when you just literally put the 1 and then multiply with like where the x is. And then for this one, it was the rational root theorem, and then list all possible rational roots. It would just be 2, negative 2, 1, and negative 1. And then for C, this one, it wouldn't be listed as a possible rational root because the square root of 5 is irrational. And then use one root that works to find all the work. Okay, so first thing I did was I did synthetic division, and I put the 2 over here, and then I tried to see if it would work, and I got a remainder of 0, so it did work. So then I put it into x squared plus 3x plus 1, but you can't factor that, so I had to use the quadratic equation thing, and then and I put it in there. I got x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 1 again over 2 times 1, and that equals x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2, which gives you 2 of the x's, which is x equals negative 3 plus square root of 5 over 2, and x equals negative 3 minus 5 square root of 5 over 2. And then it's also x equals 2. And then this is gonna be like the most like messed up video ever, but for D, all I did was have like an error with like my like adding and subtracting. It should have been 10 because it was supposed to be like when negative 4 is subtracted from 6, so it'd be 6 minus negative 4, which turns into 6 plus 4, which is 10. So D should have equaled 10. And then for 18, okay, so this is actually going to equal, in the square root, and leave the 3 on the outside alone, this is going to equal negative 1 over negative 1 over 5 n to 5th. And then this is going to equal -1 over 5 times 5 times 5, 125, to the 3rd. 5 times 5 times 5. Does that seem right? Wait, this wouldn't be end of the 5. It would be n to the it would be this would be n to the 3rd, I think. Well, this is so funny. You're like watching me like solve this out. If n, wouldn't it be n to the 5th? Wait, it would be, yeah, it would be n to the 5th because it's not 5 times 5 times 5, it's 5 times 3, which would make this 15. I'm pretty sure. Yep.